The nice thing about Bitcoin is it's a network, right? It's physically, literally and physically a network. It's a network of nodes that secure a blockchain that enables Bitcoin to be a better form of money going forward. And therefore we can measure all the elements of a network just like any network. And I have a buddy in the industry, Tim Peterson, who runs a firm called N Squared Crypto, and he's N Squared Value on Twitter. And he's been tracking this model, this Metcalfe's Law model, for years. And based on that calculation, he comes up with a fair value of the Bitcoin network, the Bitcoin blockchain network, at around $91,000 or $92,000 today.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge.
Mark Yusko explores how low Bitcoin could go, sharing insights we'll unpack together. Stick around to discover his bold outlook now.
And what's interesting is if you look at history, in 2017, that value was 10,000. Now, if you remember, we went from 10,000 in November to 20,000 in December. So we got 2 times fair value. And then we had a big correction and we fell well below fair value until the next bull market started. Then in 2021, fair value had gone up to about 33K, but we went all the way up to 69K in November of 21. And then we had a big correction. So here we are in 2025, same 4-year cycle, fair value at 91. We only got up to 125. 126, we didn't get a full 100% higher. We never hit that 170, 180 that people were calling for. And so I will argue that the correction will be more muted because of that, because, it's likely we fall not just back to fair value, but probably below. Well, why should we fall below? Well, corrections occur when people who bought for, we'll say, less than ideal reasons. Like if you think about the cycle of any investment, when the price is below the fair value, right? If that's a stock, it's the discounted stream of future cash flows. If that were a bond, it would be the certainty you have with the payment of interest. Whatever it is, if the price is equal to fair value, you're probably agnostic as to whether to buy it or not. If the price is below fair value, investors will buy to try to close that gap. Well, as the price starts to move, traders are drawn to it.
Bitcoin's recent weakness mirrors the stress building across the broader economy, but shifting liquidity conditions suggest a recovery could be closer than it seems. As the Federal Reserve approaches its next interest rate decision on December 10th, markets remain split between expecting a small rate cut or no change at all. This uncertainty has kept Bitcoin under pressure, especially as concerns about inflation collide with clear signs of a cooling job market. Still, pointing to the Fed alone doesn't fully explain Bitcoin's downturn. The decline began in early October, aligning with slowing freight activity, softer housing data, and tighter corporate cash flows, all indicators of growing risk aversion. What could help Bitcoin turn the corner is the improving liquidity outlook. The Fed plans to stop shrinking its balance sheet in December and may use repo operations to quietly inject cash into the financial system. That shift could ease market strain and support risk assets. At the same time, potential tariff reductions and a targeted 2026 stimulus plan offer longer-term reasons for optimism. As liquidity gradually returns and economic uncertainty settles, Bitcoin could be positioned for a strong rebound. Scarce assets tend to thrive when financial conditions loosen, and Bitcoin may stand to benefit most once the pressure begins to fade.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So in 2021, when we talked, we were in phase 2 of the 4 phases of innovation. So in the first phase of innovation, the incumbents ignore you. So from kind of 2009 to 2015, they ignored it, right? Bunch of nerds and geeks playing at the magic internet, money, whatever. Then phase two, kind of from 2016 to 21, you have the then they laugh at you phase. And they mock you. And, oh, stupid idiots playing with your magic internet money. But starting in 22, and I'll argue from 22 to kind of 27-ish, is the then they fight you phase. That's where the incumbents fight back, right? They try to erect barriers. They try to change regulatory rules. They try to, you had the whole, Operation Choke Point. I mean, you had all that stuff. And people say, well, that's over. I mean, it's not over. I mean, Trump was going to give us a strategic Bitcoin reserve, right? Nope, we haven't seen that. Why? Well, because there's still people in D.C., Elizabeth Warren and others, that don't want that to happen. So they're still, and she's funded by Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, look, the financial services industry skims $7 trillion a year from all of us globally. 7 trillion with a T every single year to establish trust so that we can exchange value between ourselves. You put your money in the bank. It's the bank's money. You put your money in a brokerage firm. It's the brokerage firm's money. It's not yours. You can borrow against it and you can use it if you get permission, but they keep the trust. Well, now we have this technology that does away with the need for trust because we have truth. The network is truth. So they don't want to give up that $7 trillion of revenue. And so they're going to fight. And, but we're a ways into the fight. And, the last phase is, well, then you win. And so it is inevitable that we will win. It's inevitable that everybody will utilize blockchains to exchange value. It's inevitable that Bitcoin will be the native currency of Web3. It's inevitable, right, that this will happen, but not tomorrow. And so the fight, it might even get worse, right? I can see a world where they are trying to push their CBDCs, which are horrible, evil things, and to try to make it illegal for you to self-custody Bitcoin. They make it illegal for you not to own Bitcoin except in a government-sponsored entity like JP Morgan. I don't have any inside information here, but I'm telling you, the fight isn't over. It doesn't mean that they're going to win. They're just going to keep fighting. But I ask people all the time, name a technology that came along in history that was better than the previous technology that suddenly got stuffed away forever. The incumbents will always fight, but at the end of the day, better technology wins. So there's still time before we win completely. And whether it's one more cycle or two more cycles, I don't really know. But my guess is it's within a decade.
Solana's recent price action suggests that the drop to $130 may have been its true bottom, and momentum is now shifting in a way that has traders eyeing a return to higher ranges. After a sharp 25% correction from $173, Sol quickly bounced, forming a clean V-shaped recovery on lower timeframes. The RSI jumping from 28 to 50 reinforces growing bullish momentum, and the price is now pushing toward the key $170 neckline, an area that could confirm a broader trend reversal if reclaimed. Zooming out, the weekly chart paints an even more compelling picture. The $130 level has acted as a powerful springboard twice before, triggering massive runs to $250 and $265. With Sol once again defending the support, traders are watching for history to repeat itself. Reclaiming the 20-day EMA near $160 would strengthen the case for a move toward the $180 to $200 range in the near term. Behind the charts, demand is clearly returning. Futures open interest rising to $7.3 billion, positive funding rates, and increasing spot buying all show buyers stepping back in force. Strong ETF inflows, now totaling $390 million and improving on-chain activity, add even more fuel. Altogether, these signals hint that Solana may be preparing for another powerful climb. If you have been watching so far, thank you so much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zilla for daily news all for free. That's all for today's video. Until next time.